highly developed modular design, a specific feature of SMS Demag wire rod mills. This enables older plants to be revamped and brought up to the standard of performance of modern wire rod mills at low investment costs. Optimum performance due to plant modernization. The new wire rod mill at voest alpine Austria draht. Commissioning in 1979. At that time, the two-strand wire rod mill at voest alpine AG in Donawitz, Austria, was regarded as a prime example of modern plant engineering. And during its more than 20 years of service, it has fully satisfied the high expectations made on it. Meanwhile, market requirements have changed. There's now an increased demand for a greater variety of products and improved wire rod properties. voest alpine Austria draht has no trouble in satisfying these demands with its modernized wire rod mill, of which those sections crucial for quality were revamped in the year 2000 and brought up to a new standard of performance. The starting material, continuously cast billets 130 millimeters square. The wide range of steel grades encompasses low carbon and high carbon steel, spring steel, ball bearing steel and cold heading steel. The product mix, wire rod from 5.5 to 22 millimeters and round bar up to 32 millimeters diameter. The approach roller table delivers the billets one by one to the walking beam furnace. Furnace capacity 160 metric tons per hour. The billets are uniformly heated to an entry temperature of 1050 degrees Celsius. Entry into the modernized two-strand roughing train. 8 horizontal stands, which enable all special grades to be rolled. The reinforced mill stands now also make it possible to shape those steel grades which are sensitive to skin decarburization, for example 60 SI CR6. Robust guides convey the rolled stock reliably from pass to pass. Rotary shears after the 4th and after the 8th stand ensure smooth sequential passes. In emergencies, chopping can take place after the roughing train. Entry into the 2 groups of stands of the intermediate train, which has been retained in its original form.
See it, level 2.
Single strand and twist-free rolling with controlled horizontal and vertical loops takes place in the compact stands of the intermediate train, ensuring the best preconditions for good service quality and close tolerances. And now, the most important revamping measure, the 115-meter-long cooling and equalizing sections subsequent to the intermediate train, installed within a restricted space. Here, water boxes and equalizing sections with controlled looping achieve temperature equalization prior to finish rolling. Consequently, when it enters the wire rod blocks, the rolled stock has a temperature of 750 degrees Celsius over its entire length. Furthermore, the product range is extended considerably by optional temperature-controlled rolling or thermomechanical rolling. There are new shears upstream of the finishing mill for cropping, dividing or chopping the rolled stock. The two finishing blocks were likewise modernized. They were each provided with 4 new mill stands in cassette-type design for larger finish dimensions of up to 25 millimeters round. The cantilevered roll rings, made from tungsten carbide, can be changed within 6 minutes. The revamping of the wire rod blocks resulted in an improvement in finish tolerances to plus-minus 0.1 millimeters in the thicker dimensional range. Automatic guiding, monitoring and evaluation of the rolling process in the central control pulpit. The new equipment and functions were incorporated perfectly into the existing software systems. Water boxes immediately downstream of the wire rod blocks are tried and tested components from the old plant. They initiate controlled cooling from the rolling heat to the exact determination of the desired wire rod properties. Revamping work with a decisive influence on quality was also performed in the area of the air cooling section. New pinch roll units and laying heads enable both the loop head and the loop tail to be positioned, and thus achieve an improvement in the laying pattern. The old chain conveyor belts have been replaced by roller-driven loop conveyors. Advantages: no contact points and homogeneous cooling of the rod loops. A cooling rate of 25 degrees Celsius per second for 5.5 millimeter round is achieved here at full blower capacity. For delayed cooling of low carbon steel grades, the loop conveyors are covered by hoods. The revamping of the loop conveyors led to an improvement of the mechanical wire rod properties, above all in the case of the high carbon steel grades. New ring distribution systems for the 2 coil-forming chambers enabled the heights of the coils to be reduced. This reduction in coil heights has practical advantages for transport and storage. Pouring reel installation for rounds and the coil handling system with hook conveyor and compacting machines proved to be fully efficient according to modern standards and were therefore not renewed. Completes our overview of the modernization of a 2-strand wire rod mill at voest alpine Austria draht. The revamping was carried out in the record time of 21 days. The revamping costs amounted to around 10% of the investment for a comparable, complete new plant. The modernized wire rod mill at voest alpine Austria draht is well equipped to compete on increasingly demanding international markets. Plant modernization with SMS D-Mark, a worthwhile investment for greater performance.